All right, looks like we're live here on YouTube. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adobe Creative Cloud. We're going to be talking about how to make the perfect image for your next social media post. So we're going to kick things off here in just a second. I'm going to start a recording. Actually, I don't need to start a recording. I'll start recording just in case. I'll start a recording, and then we'll get right into the meat of the topic. Shouldn't take too long. But we should have some fun for a Friday afternoon with you guys being able to create the perfect cool social media image using some new features and a free tool. So it won't cost you anything to do this. And you'll be able to do this pretty much immediately after I show it to you. So I see all the people coming in on YouTube. Hello, Helen. Hello, Victoria. Hello, Daniel. Hello, is it Icolid? Hello, Yasser. And hello, Robiste TV. And again, if I'm saying your handle incorrectly, I apologize. All right, so let me go ahead and start the recording before we get too far into things here. And recording started. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Friday, and I'm live here on Adobe Creative Cloud. I'm also live on my Twitter and Periscope account. And we're going to just do some quick ways of creating the perfect social media account. I'm going to do this with my mobile device here. Let me go ahead and get that fired up. My mobile device being an iPhone 7 Plus. But even if you don't want to do this on mobile, I'm going to show you a way of doing it on your desktop as well. Especially if you're on iOS, or sorry, if you're on Android. The tool I'm going to show you is, rumor has it, it's coming to Android soon, but not quite there yet. Is available for free on iOS and is available for free on the web. All right, so let's pop over to my computer so you guys can see what I'm talking about. When I say my computer, I mean my phone. So you can see what I'm talking about here. And let me not rotate. That kind of gets scary. Let me also pop up the icon so you guys can see what I'm talking about in case you forget or you're watching this on the replay and you didn't see it or hear it. This is all about Adobe Spark. Now, Adobe Spark, and it keeps evolving, keeps getting better and better and better. I'm going to show you some ways that it's better now. And it's a free application on the App Store on iOS. So you can download it. You can get Spark Post, Spark Page, and Spark Video. All three are free. Today I'm just going to be talking about Spark Post, but you definitely want to check out Spark Page as well as Spark Video. Now, if you don't have an iOS device, let me show you what you can do. For now, until it comes out on Android, you can pop over to spark.adobe.com and you can use 99% of the features on the web. So if you just want to use it in your web browser, you don't have to necessarily use it on a mobile device. I like it on a mobile device because that's usually where I'm going to do the post. But if you want, you can use it on your computer with a web browser. All right, so let me show you what it looks like. I'm just going to pop into my Adobe folder, and in my Adobe folder, there are the 3 Spark apps down the right-hand side there. Spark Post is the one we're going to talk about today. Spark Page and Spark Video are also free. You should check those out. And let me go ahead and pop over to Spark Post. And as you can see, Spark Post, for those of you who have used it before or seen me talk about it before, it looks pretty much the same as it has. These templates and these themes are always refreshed. So every time I come in here, it seems like I'm seeing new ones that I hadn't seen before. And of course, you can always start with one of these as your starter template or starter idea. And usually when I show this, I do start from one of these. But today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to start from scratch and show you how you can use this to create that perfect image, even if you don't have the perfect image or theme to start with. All right, and then something I just noticed, I don't know how long that's been there, but I hadn't really paid attention to the categories across the top. The categories were there before, but I never saw them scroll like this before. At least I hadn't paid attention to it. So if you were looking for something for business, there are the business themes. If you're looking for something for travel, there are the travel themes, so forth and so on. So I'm just going to go to Featured. And at the bottom, we'll show you the ability. We're in the remix category, meaning we can take any one of these and remix it into our own, change everything about it, change what it says, obviously, change the image if you want to. You can just keep the design and change everything else, or change parts of the design. You're not stuck with any of this. If you believe, if you believe in your inner Beyonce, as that post says on the right there, you can just get started with that one and change it to your inner Rihanna, or your inner whoever. You can change it to whatever you want. Then on the right-hand side at the bottom where it says My Post will show you all the posts you've created thus far. So those are the ones I've been working on. Anyway, where we're going to start is right in the middle at the bottom, the green plus sign. Now that's where I don't start from there too often because I kind of like remixing the ones that are already here. But again, the title of this is to create the perfect social media post for your next, or image for your next social media post. And therefore, sometimes starting from scratch is better than having to tweak an idea down to what you really want. So we're going to hit the green plus sign, and of course that will let me start off with either a solid color, which is fairly new, patterns are very new, and of course all the previous choices from your existing photo library, from your, take a picture right now with your camera, search for free photos, in other words, royalty-free photos that are free to use. And of course, if you have used Lightroom Mobile, any of your Lightroom photos and Creative Cloud. And usually when I demo this, I'm using my own photos from Lightroom, but today I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to show you how you can create the perfect image, even if you're not a photographer and you don't have the perfect image to start with. All right, how come there isn't one for Android? Because it's in development, rumor has it. That's why. Can't be here until it's ready. So stay tuned if you're on Android. I understand, it's frustrating when it's not available on your platform. And if I could give it to you today, I'd snap my fingers and say, go download it, but I can't. So don't beat the messenger. Anyway, let's go to solid color. And with solid color, you can of course pick any choice of color you want. So let's say we want to start with something, I don't know, something maybe in the blue family. All right, so next I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And this is the part I love in terms of creating that perfect image for your next social media post, is that you can design it based on your needs for what platform it's going to go on. So for example, Instagram, we all know, if you've been around, Instagram started out as a square aspect ratio. And even in post, the remnants of it are still there. So it says Instagram is going to be square. And that is technically the best full screen experience. And Instagram is still a square, although you don't have to use a square if you don't really want to. But anyway, I'm going to scroll over because there's something fairly new here that I'm using more and more all the time now. As you know, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, and maybe other platforms I'm not thinking about right now, but those three for sure have stories. Instagram stories, Facebook stories, and Snapchat was always stories. And one of the weird things about stories is that it's in a weird, tall format that if you don't get that format just right, your image won't look right. It'll be cropped, it'll just be weird. It just won't look the way it's supposed to. So I'm happy that Instagram Story is one of the choices. So if I tap on Instagram Story, I'll get that tall, skinny format all set and ready to go. I don't have to think about it. And as long as I keep my design fitting in that space, I'm good to go. Now, of course, you can change it to other things. So for example, a friend of mine is getting her website set up, and of course she wanted to link her new logo to her YouTube channel and make it the channel art. And she said, hey, every time I go to upload my logo, it says it's too small. And I thought immediately, because you're just trying to upload the logo, you need to design it in the size of the channel art that YouTube requires. So if you needed that specific size, boom, there it is, YouTube channel art, and then you can start laying out all the elements on it. Because one of the things I also realized when I was helping her with this process is that channel art for YouTube will change depending on what it's being displayed on. So for example, if it's being displayed on a TV, you see the whole thing. You see this whole image from edge to edge. But it's being displayed on a phone, then you're only going to see maybe half the middle from top and bottom. If it's being displayed on a computer, you'll see a little bit more, but you'll never see all of it. So, because YouTube banners are really skinny across from left to right, actually from top to bottom, and they go full screen left to right. So it really depends on what you're going to see it on, or what it's going to be shown on, as to how you'd want to design this. So first, I picked YouTube channel art and I just plopped her logo right in the middle and made it big. And then I realized when I tested it myself, uploading it to YouTube, not going through the whole process, but just uploading it, and saw, oh, the logo is being cropped on the top and bottom. So I went back to Spark, sized it down some more, sized it down some more. It took me like 2 times to get it just the way I wanted it. Boom, it made the perfect channel art, and she was thrilled because it looked perfect. Okay, so the perfect image. Now, of course, if you're not using social media, just to show you that there are other sizes, including iPhone in this case, and I'm sure Android will get theirs when it comes out. Maybe you're just making a wallpaper and you want the perfect size wallpaper for your phone. That's one of those new formats that got snuck in. Another one of my favorites, if we go all the way over to 16:9, because a lot of times I'm not only making videos like I am today, but I need the image that's going to be the thumbnail for that video. So I get the ability to choose a 16:9 and make the perfect Spark Post image for a video, whether it's going to be in the video itself or used as the thumbnail for the video when I upload it to YouTube. And of course, all the other sizes in between. So again, if we go back to Instagram Story and we click Done, that will put on some sample text in the worst possible font. I don't know why it defaults to that font. Luckily, you can change it to whatever you want. And let's double tap on that. And of course, we can change this type to whatever we want as well. It says double tap to edit the text, which I just did. And let's have a nice quote for today. Let's see. This guy, no, I'm trying to think something inspirational for the weekend. How about, I don't work a 9 to 5, comma, I work from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep. And normally I would have had this already, so I can just paste it in, but I didn't think about it. To the time I get up till the time I go to bed. All right, done. And of course, that will come in that font, which I'm not a fan of. I don't think I've ever used that font, whatever that font is. It looks like Flood. Okay, so obviously I don't like the font. I may not even like the color. I don't like the style of it. And maybe I want to make it even larger. So I can resize this just by dragging the handles, and it will size it up. Yeah, it's dark 30 to dark 30, exactly, good time. All right, and I don't know what font I want. And that's the thing about if you're not a designer, or if you don't do this on a regular basis, even just having a list of fonts can be intimidating because you're just going to do this. You're just going to keep tapping on them and not necessarily getting what you want. So one of my favorite things, and I've shown this before, in Spark Post is the style wheel. So notice there are tabs in the middle there, style, color, font, shape, align, and more. If I go to style, that gives me this wheel. It's my favorite thing. And I can just simply turn it. And that will just keep changing the design until I get to one that I either like or that I'm, kind of liking and want to, enhance from there. So I can just keep turning this. And even though I've already turned it once around, it just keeps going. It'll just keep going and changing to different themes until I find one that I kind of like. And I kind of like that font. All right, let's say I want that one. Now, if I want to change the color, I can go to a different color. I can choose a different color if I want. The white was probably the best, but you can change the different colors. You can also get into other colors as well. And so I can go with the darker purple. And actually, it's probably just best to stick with what it suggested in this case, the kind of cream color. Of course, we can go back to font. We saw that. You can also get into a shape. So the basic shape means that it doesn't have a shape, but you can also get into where it's got a shape of just reverse lines behind it. We can get into that. We can get to that, which is a circle, which the text is too big to really show it, but there's the circle. And of course, I can get to this, and all of these are too big for, or all of these are not showing because my text is so big. But if I make my text smaller, then you'll start to see the shapes. All right, and that one's kind of cool. I kind of like that one. I can go back, make that, and of course, center that in place. Now, if I want to add additional text, maybe that's someone's quote, and I want to go ahead and add that in as well, I can hit done, and notice there's a plus sign. Now, when you hit the plus sign, you can add text. You can have multiple blocks of text, so it won't change the text I already have. It'll just give me a new one to say whatever I want. Or I can say add photo. Now, if you add a photo, it will replace the photo. It will replace your solid color with that photo, because still right now in Spark, you can only have one photo at a time. But if I go ahead and add text, I can say author unknown. All right, and done. And then that becomes that text, which I can make a lot smaller. And I don't need a shape on that one, so I can take the shape off. And we'll just put that down there, author unknown. Okay, so at this point, if I was ready to share this, I could go ahead and share it. And I can go ahead and post it immediately wherever I need to post it. But keep in mind, if I wanted to make this an Instagram story, I can't post it right to Instagram. I'd have to get into the Instagram app to make it, to be able to post it as a story. Same thing, I believe, for Facebook. And Snapchat's not even a choice. So in any of those cases, since I am using the Instagram story feature, I would want to go in and save the image to my camera roll. Then I can post it as many ways as I want, as many places as I want. And Andres, I agree. And that's why I said the Android version is coming. We ask you to please be patient just a little while longer. I think you won't have to wait too much longer. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and save image. And that image has been saved. Okay, so now that we've got that in place, I can go back to my post, and it's going to be there as one of my posts, and I'm going to go ahead and hit plus sign again. And this time we are going to search for free photos. Like I said, just going to prove the point that you don't necessarily have to be a photographer to use this. Now, the last thing I searched for apparently was mist, and it started bringing up all these free photos that have something to do with mist in them. Game of Thrones is coming on this weekend. Let's see, we got dragons. Oh, dragging. How about dragon? And we got some interesting reptiles. Not necessarily the dragon I was looking for, but this one's kind of cool. I don't know. It looks like a White Walker, maybe. All right, and there's a funky looking dragon there. All right, or perhaps we search for the word night. Night, if we spell it right, there we go. And we have some knights there. And maybe I want to use this castle image. Okay, we'll just stick with that. Free is free. You get what you get. All right, so there's my castle image. And of course, it just, again, defaulted to that original Instagram, square size. Now, of course, I can say I'm done. I can go back to the image. And this image is cut out, so I do get to keep my color background, which is cool. And I can, of course, even apply filters to it, which are kind of nice. Kind of like that filter on it. And then I can double tap to change my text. And we're just going to do hashtag Game of Thrones. All right. Now, we'll do that. Actually, I just thought of a different one. Let's put that down there. Let's add another one. And we're going to change these, don't worry. Winter is coming. Or winter is actually here on the show, but anyway, winter's coming. All right, so again, same things around. So first and foremost, I'm not crazy about the dark blue background. See if I can change that. Don't know if I like the white either, but the dark blue wasn't cutting it for me. And now, by the way, a new feature is you can now use any custom color you want. Before you were locked into the colors that you got, and now you're not. So you can use basically any color in the spectrum, including an eyedropper where you can sample a color that you might want. But I'm going to cancel out of that. So the way I went to that was I just basically tapped on a color and then tapped on it again to customize that color. So if I didn't like the specific blue that I was getting, and I want to change the tint of it a little bit, I could. But I think I'm going to stick to white for this one. And now let's go back to that, and let's go back to style, and let's go ahead and change, oops, I like that. And then let's change this, style that as well. And we're just going to go ahead and make that smaller and bring that down here. And now that needs to change in color. We'll just flip those around. So I'm still using the white and blue or light purple and blue, but using the blue as the drop shadow instead of the white. All right, so now we have some more room to play with this. Make that bigger. And even if I now decide, hey, I want to change the layout, I can. So if I go to the layout, I can either resize it or choose a layout now with multiple images. So let's go to resize. If I decided that, for example, this was going to be, let's go to social, let's go to, I want to go to not a Facebook cover, profile cover, not a Facebook ad. There it is, just a regular Facebook image. It will reformat everything or resize everything accordingly. And of course, I can still size it or play with it within that. Now, this is a wider image, so I'm going to crop off more of the castle. Done. And then I can move this over. All right, so I can reformat. Now, another way to resize, you can say done on that layout, is I can also go to layouts. And on layouts, you'll notice that you get multiple images up. So for example, I could say that I want that kind of layout. And now it's going to let me basically have multiple frames for my images. So maybe I want to go that one to be bigger. And then I can put something down here. Oh, we'll go done. I can put something in that frame, change the color of it, or put something new in there. And of course, keep going. Now, this will, I think, give me the ability to finally have, oh, sorry about that, folks. My screen went to sleep. All right, let's go to and choose, I want to try this as a test. Let's go ahead and choose a different image. And winter was the last thing, I guess, I had typed, so it's there. Let's do that one, just as a test. All right, yeah, so it's letting me choose different images into the different frames as well. So that is one way to get multiple images in, is to use a layout that's got multiple frames in it. All right, we'll pick that up, move that over. And now away I go. So I am done, ready to go with this particular one. Now, of course, you can use even suggested layout. So if you feel stumped and you're just not quite there yet, you can use a sample and it will you'll reformat everything into what you pick. And last but not least, there's also animation. So if we go to a slide, for example, the text will slide on. But of course, if you do one of these, anything with animation, your choices for output either have to be a video or a live photo. I don't believe animated GIF is there yet. Here, let's try it. Yeah, video or image with no animation. If I do video, then it's going to create a video out of that, and I think it's going to give me just those two choices. I can't remember if animated GIF was there or not. No, it's not. Okay, so that's it. And if I don't animate it, of course, then I can just use it as an image, or even if I animate it, I can still export it out as the final image. So that is Spark Post. And by the way, no matter what you did on your devices, they are also synced to your account if you signed in with an account. So for example, if I go to my projects, I'm now on the web browser. There's the one I just finished for the Game of Thrones. So I can see it on a much bigger screen. I can do more with it now that I'm on my computer, like save it to my hard drive and work on it further. And that image isn't knocked out here. Good to know. So I might want to bring that one down a bit. There we go. And of course, I still have full editing capability as well. So winter is, instead of winter is coming, I can say winter is here. Hello, Solid Helm. How are you? All right, done. And now winter is here. And again, same resizing options. And of course, sharing options. Style wheel still here. So I can still style this any way that I want as well. So like I said, if you want to create the perfect social media post, it starts first of all with the right size. And that's where Spark Post can really come in handy by having and continuing to evolve and having all the right sizes built in. Then from there, you can either use a color background, pattern, or an image, your images or free images, your choice. And then of course you say whatever it is you want to say, any way you want to say it. And then from there, you can share it out, save it to your camera roll, save it to your device, on the web, save it to your hard drive. And I know Android users want it on Android as soon as possible, but at least you have an option to use it on the web until then. So with that said, I didn't see any other questions that I hadn't asked. Let's see, or hadn't answered. Let's see here. Let's go up. Hello, Brazil. All right. Lots of comments, but no questions there, and no questions there as well. So guys, check out, you got a weekend to play now. It's almost that time. Go ahead and check out Spark. Can you have a transparent background? There's a question. Let me see. Let's go back. Question was, can you have a transparent background? I do not believe so. There's not a transparency filter or option at this point. Not for the background. Let me try one thing though. You do have opacity on the objects, so I can make the winter, for example, less opaque. And then you can see through that. I don't know that you have it for, yeah, you don't have it for the backgrounds though. You probably do have it for the photo, or no, maybe not, you don't. Okay, so the text. The text can be transparent, but that's about it. And I just wanted to check, because sometimes they sneak things in, and I don't necessarily notice them when they get snuck in. But in this case, it's just transparency or opacity on text at this point. All right, good question though. And you're welcome, everybody. All right, can an image be blown up to a bigger size? That's in the app. Okay, so the question is, Joseph asked, can the image be blown up to a bigger size? Well, when you're picking these sizes, they are the resolution they're supposed to be. So like a 16:9 would be, right now, a HD image, a 1080p, so 1920 by 1080 pixels. Can I make it larger than that outside of the app? Sure, but of course, like anything, If it's raster based like these are, the bigger you make it, then the quality is probably going to start to degrade as well. Technically, yes, they can be made larger. But if you're looking to start with something much bigger, let's say you're trying to make something for an 8.5 by 11 or A4 size or something just bigger in general, then Spark Post is probably not your app. Instead, you might want to use an app like, and this one is available on both iOS and Android. That app would be Adobe Comp CC. So you see the app in the middle, the one with the little layer icon? That's a free app on both iOS or Android. And when you go into Comp, the only difference is you're not getting all those predefined templates. In other words, if you create something, which you can create any size you want. You can even go in and make a custom size or use print sizes that are high res. So if I want a nice 11 by 17 tabloid, there it is, full 11 by 17 size, but it's a blank page. So I have to do everything from scratch. So if I want to put down text, I can put down a text box. If I want to put down a graphic, I can put down a box for a graphic and start laying things out. So check out Comp CC if you're saying, I'm on Android and I don't have Spark Post and I wish I could do this. You do have Comp CC, or I need something bigger than the sizes that Comp does, and therefore that Spark does, then you can therefore use Comp CC. So 2 apps for the price of 1, free. All right, so check out Comp CC and Spark Post, and Comp will let you design just about anything at any size. Well, I shouldn't say any size, but larger sizes. And you can export those out as images or PDFs or whatever you need right from your mobile devices. And Comp CC doesn't have a web alternative. So you're either going to do that on iOS or Android. And you can even send it, by the way, one last thing. You can even send it to the desktop and open it in InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, or Muse and continue working on it. So Comp is more of a layout tool for professionals. Spark Post is more of a tool that's fun to create quick things that look good for everybody. Your choice. Use whichever one you want. And if you're on Android, you've got Comp CC as well as iOS users. All right. So with that said, happy Friday, everybody. Hope you got something out of this. I always have fun showing Post, except for when people want to know when it's going to be available on their platform. And that's not fun for me because I want you to have it as soon as you can have it. Hopefully, which won't be too much longer. All right, so with that said, take care. Thanks for watching. Go download Adobe Spark or Adobe Comp CC or both. They're free to use. Play with them. Design cool stuff. Post cool stuff. Make your images. Take time to make your images look a little bit better. And people are always asking, what app can I use to take an image and put some text on it? Either app will do that, but of course, if you really want to professionally design it, Comp CC will let you go even further. So your choice. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.